Today we're going to get the sled back together and we're going to get it running. There's still a lot of work to do on the intake side, on the exhaust side, and all the coolant systems, but we're going to get there in this video. So let's go ahead, let's jump into it. Now, if you don't know the history of the sled, or you haven't seen part 1 or part 2 of these series, they're going to be linked in the description below. So part 1 goes through everything wrong with the sled. Part 2, we go ahead, we get the engine in. And now in part 3, we're going to get it running. So let's go ahead. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to get the PTO Buddy off and put the original end cap back on. You know, previously in the last video, we said we're going to replace it, go back to the stock setup. So I bought a stock oil ring, as well as I got the parts off of my previous sled engine, and we're going to go ahead and see if we can go back to what's original on here. Now I'm pretty sure this is all supposed to be white, so I'm kind of glad that I'm taking it apart now. Someone obviously didn't do a great job taking care of it in here, so all this is going to get cleaned up. I'm going to go ahead and redo it. You can see some damage to the seal that was on here as well. So all coming apart, all going to get cleaned up, and then we'll get back into it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to clean this all up, and then we're going to go ahead and fill it with the right grease. After that's all set, I'm going to go ahead and put the new oil cap back on. We're going to go ahead and move to the reeds and the rage cages, and we're going to fix those up. All right, so on the intake side, coming off of the engine, we have the spacers, and then we have these here, which are the Boyesen rage cages. Now, with these, they were not in great condition when I got them. You saw in the previous video, everything that was all chipped up and the pedals were damaged. So I bought some parts and we're gonna replace the parts on them. Now we're gonna go ahead and install them. I'll bring them closer so you can see them, but I need to replace both of them on both sides of this because they're both damaged. Now you can see how bad the previous ones were. You can see all the corrosion on the inside. You can see the damage here to the pedal itself. And you know, these need to be replaced on both sides. So with all this, we're gonna go ahead and replace them. We got the new ones here. The instructions look pretty simple. It just says, make sure everything is clean, put them on, and then tighten them loosely. Actually, it says tighten them to like a fraction of a foot-pound. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do them hand tight, but we need to use some blue Loctite on it as I pull them together. So all new hardware, which is really nice. I do this one first. Now, that's actually marked up, so that side goes up. It's probably going to go right here. One side on, I do the other side, and then should be good to get them all back in. Okay, now that I have these back together, I can go ahead, put them back on the sled. I have all new gaskets, everything's cleaned up, everything's refreshed, so let's go ahead, get them on. The last thing I did is I wanted to look at a bunch of the hardware and maybe figure out if I need to replace it. So I've been running a tap through these and trying to figure out, are they good enough to reuse? But what I've decided to do is actually buy all new hardware from Bolt Depot. You know, this place is actually local to me, so it's quick shipping and the prices are reasonable. So for the intake side and the exhaust side, I decided to replace a lot of the hardware. So we're gonna use that to put these on and get everything back together. All right, so what we're gonna do next is I'm gonna take the carburetor apart and just see if it's clean inside. You know, I'm making the assumption that everything is good in here. I've been playing around with the throttle, just opening it, shutting it, and everything looks like it's operating correctly. I'm gonna go ahead and reset both of these mixture screws because I think that's the right thing to do. And then, you know, if everything's clean in here, probably just put this carburetor on, even though I've known mine run okay. So, time to take this apart. Now, what's interesting about this is the person who sold it to me told me it had only like 2,000 or 3,000 miles on it. The slides on this carburetor do look pretty worn. And one of the first things I'm noticing as I take this apart is the screw is missing. That goes in here to hold these in place. So that if you want to take this out, which is weird, something I would not expect. You know, after working with this carburetor for a few minutes, few warning signs, no screws holding the bottom fuel bowls in. That's interesting. The main jets are all fine. The idle jets, they're not coming out. You know, whoever put them in way too tight or potentially used the wrong Loctite, and it's stripping the brass and I can't spin the flat-bladed screwdriver on it, it just pops right out. So, and the last is there's a lot of wear on these. So I don't know why there is so much wear for being such a low miles potential engine, but so we're gonna go ahead and use the carburetor that came off this engine when it blew up. There it is. Now here's what I'm talking about. Here's the carb that came with this engine. Here's mine with the slides. You can see a lot less wear on my slides. So I'm, you know, probably not a great idea to use this. I'm just gonna go ahead, open this up, make sure everything's okay before I put it back in the sled. So carburetors are in. It took a lot to get these in and to get everything lined up. I ended up using dielectric grease plus the heat gun, warmed these up, made sure that all the clamps were in the right location. And when I did that, I was able to finally get these in. But now it's really just about getting everything hooked up, attaching the fuel line again, and getting this side done. As soon as this side is done and I'm done hooking everything up, we go ahead and move on to the exhaust side. All right, so here's where we are. Everything is now hooked up where it's supposed to be. The fuel lines are back on, all the vent lines are back on. You know, really, you need to use, it's really tough to get in here with larger hands and get everything back connected, but everything is connected. You know, I've checked the carburetor settings, making sure they're where I want them to be. So back to stock. Everything should be okay. And I've checked that when I do play with the throttle, everything does move as it's supposed to, including the oil pump down in there. So now we can move on to the exhaust side. But before I do this, probably have to put the cooling system back in because there isn't going to be access to that after this is in. Now to put this in, we just need to put the tank in here and that should be pretty straightforward. So I'm going to install the tank. I have to connect it to the carburetor and then to these two lines. And I think everything should be pretty much ready to go to finalize the exhaust. Now there is a vent tank that I have no idea where it goes, so that's something that I'm going to need to figure out. But as I can see, this is probably just going to drop in. All right, using a little Prestone coolant in this rather than the SkiDoo stuff, I want to make sure there's no leaks first before I pull this back together. Now I guess I'm going to wait a little bit, see if anything leaks out over time. Now, this should be a relatively straightforward install, so I'm just going to drop this in and then drop the rest of the exhaust in. But before I get to the rest of the exhaust, I'll probably have to spend some time cleaning up these and just making sure that these heat shields fit. I mean, this one is just literally falling off. I decided to switch these over and I do have some new rivets, so I've already replaced 2 of them, so I'm going to clean everything up, get the rest in, and then make it look better. I think one of the things I'm noticing, I'm probably going to use some washers in a few different places like I did previously because these rivets aren't going to completely cover the hole. All right, now we're going to put the Y pipe in. Now to do this, all new bolts again from Bolt Depot. And we're going to get everything lined up and looking good. Look at that. So much better, so much cleaner in there. Now, if you've ever done this project, you know you need this tool here. So it's essentially an extended Allen wrench with a ball on the end that you can use to reach in there because with some of the angles, you definitely will not be able to get them out with just a standard Allen wrench. Now, one of the things that I'm finding out here is, we were talking about this earlier, we broke this when we were taking the sled apart, and the chain ring or the ring that goes around the outside that the starter runs on, you know, it gets bolted to the back of this, but the one that came on my sled was tapped and threaded. The one that I bought was not tapped and threaded, and they're the same exact part number. So what we're gonna have to end up doing is tapping each one of these holes and making it work. Luckily, it appears that they are the right hole size. I just need to run a tap through them. So MA tap it is. I'm gonna get this done. We'll get it on the sled and then we'll start it up. All right, so everything's pretty much together now. The exhaust is in, so I do have to still put the springs on. I need to put the gasket on in here, but I'm pretty much ready to start it. All right, so I put enough in it so that if it does, for some reason, start leaking, I can take care of it, and I don't need to lose an entire jug. All right, so we got this on. You know, it's not on that great. You can see that the washer's not fully seated. So I haven't torqued this down because I don't have the right thing to hold it yet, or I haven't put a piece of wood under here, but we're gonna try it out. I took the plugs out. Battery is now in. We're gonna go ahead and see what happens when I hit the start button. So it's not gonna start because there's no plugs in it. Okay, looks like we get some movement. It's raining, but I'd really like to get this thing started now. Oh, there we go. It's got something. All right, so everything seems to be okay so far. No funny noises from the engine. Started up, ran good. I do need to add some more oil. The coolant level's definitely low. I do need to figure out where that cap went to in this garage. It's here somewhere, I just gotta find it. And you know, still some small projects on this to button up before we start getting into the mods, which will be in the next video. So I'm gonna go ahead and button this up, and then let's go ahead and hope for some snow. Thanks for tuning in this week on Smackey's Garage. I'll see you next time.